Athletes Unlimited Softball on ESPN, presented by our official climate finance partner, Aspiration. This is it, the final day of week 3. One more chance to make a lasting impression here at Parkway Bank Sports Complex in Rosemont, Illinois. First of a doubleheader, afternoon. Team Alexander going to take on Team Romero. Massive story this week, both in Greenville, North Carolina, and here Rosemont, Illinois, has been Odyssey Alexander and her team. She's a captain for the very first time. She has moved up to the #1 spot on the leaderboard, and she is on top by a wide margin. She has been dynamic the entire week. Her team has not lost. Sierra Romero, captain for the second consecutive week. She's done a bang-up job, currently 3rd on the leaderboard, trying to get a win on a Sunday afternoon and staying in the top 4. We always talk about the leaderboard, every sport that Athletes Unlimited plays, because it is vital. If you get in the top 4 after the end of today's games, you will be a captain for next week's game, week 4. Look at this. Sierra Romero currently in the 3 spot. Her younger sister, Sydney Romero, currently in the 6th spot. If they both can finish in the top 4, it would be the first time in Athletes Unlimited softball history that we would have sisters as captains. Wouldn't that be something? All right, glad you found us with my partner, Daniel Laurie. I am Eric Collins, and this is my favorite day of the week with Athletes Unlimited. Sunday is fun day with all the intrigue we're going to have.
And we're kind of in the middle chunk of the season, too. And not to mention, Sierra Romero and Odyssey Alexander are playing their best softball. Team Purple, Team Blue have the best records, no doubt, out of any other teams right now. So to kind of solidify your spot on the leaderboard is huge, and that's why Sunday, to me, is the most important day.
And Odyssey Alexander, as being a captain for the first time, she has used it to her full advantage. She is #1 in large part because of the decisions she's made.
Well, and it's pretty awesome the fact that she gets to call her number not only in the circle, but this was a 40-point at-bat for Odyssey. 40 points for every single player on the team. And not to mention +4 for every single out recorded. She was incredible in the circle. That curveball, she mixed all speeds. See a little breakdown of her pitches. She had 6 strikeouts yesterday coming from 4 different pitches. That rise ball in orange, curve in blue, change in green, and that screwball in purple. She is no doubt one of my favorite players to watch right now.
So Odyssey Alexander, her team will be the official visiting team today. So we will see Team Alexander come to the dish here in the first inning. And Odyssey Alexander has filled out her lineup card this way. Aaliyah Andrews, Kelsey Harshman, Bubba Nichols, the top 3. Danielle Gibson has had a bang-up season. .391 batting average, 6 runs batted in. She's the cleanup hitter. Gwen Speckes, Hannah Flippin, Odyssey Alexander batting for herself, Maddie Husky, and Josie Muffley picking up the rear. That 9 will bat against veteran right-hander Alicia Ocasio. First pitch called strike 1 to Andrews. Aaliyah, currently in the top 10 on the leaderboard. She's had a good week. 4 hits and 8 at-bats with a double and a stolen base. Ocasio, the best fielding pitcher in the world today, throws out Andrews at first.
I like that Alicia Ocasio got the ball today. Wednesday struggled a little bit in the sense where she gave up a couple solo shots, but has changed her motion a little bit. It's been really cool to see this pro dive fully into that. And I talked to her before the game. Arm, when she did that arm swing back, was hurting her arm a little bit, so she has changed it up. It just goes to show you're never too old or too young to make changes to kind of help better you in this game, and she is a solid example of that.
4th year now in Athletes Unlimited for Ocasio. She won this whole thing back in 2021. Here's Kelsey Harshman. Begins today 29th out of 60 players on the leaderboard. 2 for 8 so far the first 2 games of week 3. Good international matchup right here. Alicia Ocasio, many years representing Puerto Rico in the national team. Of course, Kelsey Harshman won a bronze medal a couple of years ago in Japan with Team Canada. Call this an international incident here in Rosemont.
Well, Ocasio still obviously playing with Puerto Rico, won that gold medal in the 2023 Central American and Caribbean Games, was the MVP.
Lifted, out of play.
And I think why I'm such a fan of someone like Alicia Ocasio and Rachel Garcia and Odyssey Alexander is it gives these little individuals that play and softball players the fact that, hey, I can pitch and hit and be successful at both. And at times you've seen the game shift a little bit where you're only seeing pitchers pitch. But at the end of the day, I think in a league like this, the fact that you can be a two-way player really helps better and gives you a good opportunity to move up that leaderboard instead of just being that pitcher.
Yeah, the year that she won, 2021, yeah. She was in the everyday lineup almost every ball game.
Yeah, could help herself out and probably takes a little bit of pressure off knowing she can step in the box and help herself a little bit. But Patch representing that 2021 victory, pretty special.
Now, good start to the ball game for Harshman. Works the walk. That is a +8 for KJ. With one out, a runner aboard for Bubba Nichols.
That's something to be proud of. Winning and being the best out of 60 athletes,
yeah.
Especially the caliber. I mean, you're talking about the best athletes in the world competing here. Different national teams, national championships, national players of the year. So to be that top dog, I mean, I want to be wearing more than a patch. Can I get some like gold cleats? Like, what can I get? It's going to set me apart here.
Here's Bubba Nichols. This is an important day for her. Bubba currently second to only her teammate, Odyssey Alexander, on the leaderboard. Trying to stay in the top 4 and become a captain. They peel, no swing. So the count is ball and 2 strikes to Nichols. Bubba Nichols just 2 hits in the first 2 games this week, but everything rising on Team Alexander. I'd say a rising tide raises all boats. Bubba Nichols is a prime example of that. Team Alexander, throughout the course of this week, they have won the lion's share of the innings. They won both ball games, and everyone who's wearing purple today has leapt up the leaderboard. A little bit outside. Harshman, that's a delayed steal. And she's going to be safe. That's a +10 for Kelsey Harshman. Interesting. That was not a straight steal. She waited a bit and forced the catcher Edwards to double clutch.
KJ laying it all out there. Stolen bases worth 10 points. They kind of go into your personal leaderboard points.
Ocasio strikes out Nichols. 2 down.
This is such a good pitch. This is 70 miles an hour. This is a pitch down in the zone that is so hard to hit when you have 2 strikes. Hats off to Ocasio because I think the pitch before Bubba Nichols should have been rung up, but that's back-to-back strikeouts in my opinion.
Gibson pops it up. Shallow center field. Going out the second baseman, Sierra Romero makes the play. So, no run score for Team Alexander in their half of the first. In the bottom half of the first, Team Romero heading to the bet rack. Captain Sierra Romero filling up the lineup card. A couple of Romeros in that lineup. One of them is going to be Sydney Romero hitting in the 8th spot, but don't let that fool you. Enormous power for Sydney.
Yeah, this was a big-time at-bat for Sid the Kid yesterday. 241 feet. And that has to feel good. Pitch speed 57 miles an hour, misses a little bit over the heart of the plate, but she takes it with a 75.5 mile an hour exit velo to dead center, and that has to feel good. If you look at her average, 190, struggling a little bit, but you look at the homers, she's had 2 home runs, 8 ribbies, leads this team in RBIs. So I kind of like that our sister put her down at the bottom of the lineup, takes a little bit of pressure off, even though she's been swinging a hot bat.
Sydney Romero currently 6th on the leaderboard. Here's your 9 circle: Romero, Lorenz, Garcia, Warren, Edwards, Piper, Sydney Romero, and Shannon Rhodes. So that 9 will bat against Alyssa Denham. Denham currently 17th out of 60 players on the leaderboard. Almost without fail, she has been impressive every time she's taken the circle. Here with Athletes Unlimited. Here's Circle. Batting average is .478 in 7 at-bats here in week 3. She's got 5 hits. she gets a hit right here, she'd raise the batting average to 500 even. And because Zirkle has got a ton of history in this league, she has played in every game available. She is super close to taking the top spot on the all-time hits list. She is second to only the great Victoria Hayward. Vic's got 63 career hits. Zirkle currently tied with Haley McClenny with 61 hits. So all three of those players are generally center fielders. And they all have over 60 hits now in 4 seasons of Athletes Unlimited softball. Three and 1 to Zirkle.
One thing that you can't deny about Morgan Zirkle is she's just so scrappy from that leadoff spot. She's been consistent day in and day out. I mean, you look at 2020 championship season, number 5 on the leaderboard. 2021, 6. She's just cruised, knows her role, a lot of pop. Now the head coach at Marshall, which I think is pretty special, going back to her alma mater. And also showing them how it's done. Hey, you want to watch me play?
Marshall was the only school that offered her a scholarship out of high school. Changed her life. Little bit inside. Zirkle works the walk. That is a +8 for Morgan Zirkle. Always a threat to run.
Number 32, Romero.
You could tell Lissa Denham battled in that AB against Morgan Zirkle, wanted that pitch on the inner half. And at times, I think what I've seen a little bit with Athletes Unlimited is maybe just some inconsistency behind the plate on both sides, and that makes it tough.
Could be 2 to second. Oh, and Harshman dropped the ball. Everybody's safe. Muffley fielded it cleanly, shuffled it off to Harshman, who couldn't hang on.
Well, this is just all-day double play. It didn't look like Muffley was able to get that scoop over exactly where she needed to be. Mind you, I will say, I think that's a ball Kelsey Harshman knows that she can catch. It's not executed.
So that's not going to be a hit for Romero. It's going to be a fielder's choice and an error. So 2 aboard without the benefit of a base hit, and here comes the thunder. Amanda Lorenz hitting 500 right on the nose is the batter. She takes called strike 1. Lorenz here through 3 weeks, leading Athletes Unlimited in batting average. 500, 12 hits and 24 at bats.
And that first inning is really a big inning for the pitchers to establish what's that zone? What am I going to be able to get? What part of the plate can I nibble? Because we know these hitters are so good. You don't want to miss over the heart of the plate. Establish that strike zone early.
Lined foul. That would have scored 1, maybe 2, but instead nothing but a loud strike. 1 and 2 to Lorenz. Virtually everyone in Athletes Unlimited, when they step in the batter's box, wears either 2 gloves or no gloves, except the batting leader, Amanda Lorenz, who wears 1 glove.
She's gonna be a golfer in another life.
Or maybe Michael Jackson. The gloves on the right hand. Remember, she's the left-handed thrower, so that would be underneath her glove when she's out in the field. It works. She can rake. 2-2. Oh my. So the count is now full, 3-2. And already early in this ball game, a pivotal point. Denham has got to throw a strike. It's a double play ball. Harshman gets 1, and that's all she can get. So the out's recorded at second. That'll be a fielder's choice. You can never assume a double play is going to be turned. The first out of the bottom of the first inning.
This is definitely a good hot shot by Amanda Lorenz. KJ keeping it in front of her. Wanted that double play, but an out at this point, so important.
So we've got 10 points on the line. If the runner from third, Morgan Circle, can score, it'll be a +10 for everyone on Team Romero. Rachel Garcia, as clutch as they get, in the batter's box. Garcia beginning today, 7th on the leaderboard. She's got a chance to get in the top 4 and be a captain. 2 for 7 this week with a homer. Homer happening in Greenville, North Carolina on Wednesday. Three players on Team Romero all in the top 10 on the leaderboard with realistic chances of being captains by getting into the top 4 after today. Off the glove of Dedham, Muffley gets the out at second. A run does score. It's an inning win for Team Romero. They lead 1-0. That ball is deflected off of Dedham's glove over to Muffley.
This is the only play that Muffley can do at this point, knowing there's some good speed up the line by Rachel Garcia. And let's not forget, Alyssa Dedham is close to 6 feet tall, so she got up there, gets that hop to Muffley. 10 points.
First ball swinging, Jesse Warren deep to right field. Play is made by Maddie Husky, and the side is retired. It's an inning win for Team Romero. The run scored was unearned, so it's not a -10 against Dedham. Roster. We start the second inning now, and we introduce the third member of our crew. It's the professor, Savannah Collins. She's at the whiteboard talking about the biggest movers. Savannah, take it away.
Thanks, Eric. You know, different games have different implications on the leaderboard, and there's a lot going on in Team Romero versus Team Alexander. So let's talk a little bit about this 1 through 10. You can kind of see who's hanging out 5 through 10 down here, but it's right here that the race is really close. So we're looking at Odyssey Alexander going into this game, who's #1 overall, and then you have Mia Davidson. They're separated by just 260 points. That can easily be made up in just this game alone. But now I want to show you why this game specifically, this matchup, blue finally seeing purple in this series, is so big. So Team Romero, they're 1-1. They've got a couple of win points, 130. They're doing second best in that category this weekend with 130 win points. Now this is the team to beat, Team Alexander. They are 2-0, and they have 230 win points. Not only are they winning their games, they are winning their innings. So this is what they're looking to do right here. They are looking for a complete week 3 sweep of the games. And if they do that, this is where we're going to see the big implication. So all of these athletes who are on this purple squad are going to continue to shoot up. And Odyssey Alexander's probably not going anywhere if her team wins all 3 of these games. But then you have the Romeros. Not only the captain, but then you can see Sydney down here in 6th. Rachel Garcia, who, by the way, don't forget about her. She is leading in stat points right now on the weekend, so she may have dropped out of being a captain this week, but she's got 142 stat points. That's better than anybody else. Don't forget about her down there. And then you got Kat Sandercock, too. I'm wondering if we're going to see her again today. So this is why this game specifically matters.
Brilliant stuff. I took
good
notes. I'm ready for the final. Thank you, Professor.
You're fabulous. You're so good at this. Love it. So many good little nuggets.
This is when the game gets really fun.
I totally agree. I love Sundays with all the possibilities. Here's Hannah Flippin, the palindrome. Hannah currently 12th on the leaderboard. Folks, this is what makes Athletes Unlimited great. She's 12th out of 60 athletes. She's hitting .096, but everything that she does well is accentuated in this game. She runs well, she's smart. Look at Jessie Warren. Did she get her? She did. Jessie Warren throws out Hannah Flippin. One third baseman throws out the other. And there are now 2 outs.
Number 3, Odyssey.
Jessie Warren is just so good, so quick. Lily Piper getting that good little scoop, gets it. Love the hustle by Hannah Flippin, but not when Jessie Warren gets a hold of it.
So 2 outs, base is clear. Here's the captain for Team Alexander, Odyssey Alexander, with a bit of a luxury. Because she's the captain, she can put herself in the lineup as a hitter. She didn't hit at all this season when she wasn't a captain. No other captain thought that she was a good option. But Odyssey says, I am. And she's accumulated points this week because of her time in the dish.
Well, and the beauty of being a captain is that, hey, I'm the boss. So if I want to call my name, I can. I also like where she puts herself in the lineup.
Little number. That's a fair ball. No, it went over the bag just wide. Foul. Third base umpire wants to convey a message to the home plate umpire.
And Odyssey has some good speed up the line, so I like the smarts by Jessie Warren.
It's interesting. Third base umpire and home plate umpire were discussing. Umpiring, the way it works is until the ball gets to third, it's the home plate umpire's decision. Once the ball actually makes it to the bag, then it's the third base umpire's decision, fair or foul. Ball and 2 strikes to Alexander.
And I remember calling James Madison's regional at Michigan in 2019.
Oh my goodness. That is 8 points the hard way. Second time this week that Odyssey has been hit with a pitch. And she'll head down to first base, owner of a bruise, and 8 more points.
Yeah, this is scary.
Got her on her left hand. Obviously a right-handed thrower.
That's also another reason as to sometimes why you're not seeing pitchers hit all the time, just because there is that slight chance that you can get hit and it can hurt you. But going back to calling that regional at James Madison, that was when Megan Good was the pitcher as well as Odyssey. She didn't get a whole lot of time in the circle, but I remember her being such a rock solid hitter for JMU over the course of her career as well. And obviously when you play pros, sometimes you don't always get that control to hit, but I like that she has that full control this week and looks to most likely be in a good spot if everything goes her way to potentially be a captain again.
So Ocasio has only allowed 2 base runners. She hadn't allowed a base hit. She walked Harshman in the first, and out 2 outs she hits Alexander. Husky bounces it to short. Sydney Romero makes the play, and the side is retired. So another 0 put up by Ocasio. Back in a moment. Yeah, this was yesterday. Competitive games, both in the first and second game. A 4-0 win for Team Alexander over Team Davidson. The nightcap 5-3 winner, Team Romero over Team Faremo. Here this afternoon, we have got a 1-0 lead for Team Romero. Bottom of the second inning, and another chance for an inning win for Team Romero if they can scratch across a run. For every run scored during this year's Athletes Unlimited softball season, Aspiration is committed to planting 10 trees. Heading into this week, we're at 1,100 trees committed this season, thanks to Aspiration's support. All right, Forever in Blue Jeans, here's Alyssa Denham. She gave up a run in the first inning. It was unearned. Some shaky defense behind her. So even though the run scored, and it's a +10 for everyone at Team Romero, it was not a -10 for pitcher Denham because it was unearned. Once the error was committed, run became an unearned run. Taylor Edwards, Hannah Flippin. Taylor Edwards better find some way else to hit it. You're not going to get a hit in that direction. Flippin is airtight wherever you put her. Last year's Defensive Player of the Year with that perpetual smile on her face. Her college coach is here. Maybe that's why she's happy her parents are here. Maybe that's why she's happier.
Gang's all here.
We don't need to say anything about her on television. We know that everyone who's her parents and her coach, they're here and can't hear us.
Yeah.
Here's Lily Piper. Where will Lily Piper be picked next week? So far this week, playing for Team Romero, Lily is 1 for 7 with a homer. Right back to Denham. 2 down. Oh, you've mentioned it before, Danielle. Sundays, for the most part, the theme is usually quality pitching.
Yep.
It's the last game of the weekend, and you're allowed to basically just air it all out. You put your best starter out there. Maybe have a great reliever come in.
Well, and that's, to me, what separated this 2023 season. They've really locked in the pitching piece and making changes when they need to. And we've seen more of a solidified ace start game 1, and then some different pitchers potentially throw by committee game 2, and then game 3, that ace again. And I kind of like that. Over the last couple years, I feel like it's been a little bit more of a hitter's game, and they've come in, and I mean, you look at the 2020 season, you and I did 100 home runs in that 2020 season, and you look at now at how good the pitchers are and just the way that the captains are able to manage, it's made a huge difference. Averages are down, situational hitting is down, and I think that realistically it comes down to obviously owning your job out there in the circle and focusing on that location piece, but sometimes captains have made some decisions when it comes to pulling a pitcher that first time through, like we saw yesterday, and bringing somebody else in to have a completely different look.
Sydney Romero, that's the game's first base hit. So Sydney Romero keeps the inning alive. She's aboard with 2 outs.
It's a really good job by Sid the Kid Romero. Pitch up, elevated a little bit for a drop ball, but she just goes and gets it, punches it through that right side, right through the 3-4 hole. Hits the ball where it's pitched, sees it a little deeper in the zone. Really good job by Sydney Romero.
With that hit, Sydney Romero has moved up the leaderboard. She is currently in the 5 spot, 5th out of 60 athletes. She got the 10 points for the inning win back in the first inning and 10 points for the hit. Remember, the top 4 on the leaderboard are captains. She's 5th. Her older sister Sierra is 3rd. Would make for an interesting draft. What would make really interesting is what are we going to call the teams next week if we have 2 Team Romeros? Got to figure something out.
No, I think they'll just go like Team Blue.
Team Sydney, Team Sierra.
Team Sid.
It's decisions we never thought we'd have to make. We can't go by their nickname or their middle names. They both have the same middle name. It's Sydney Joy Romero. It's Sierra Joy Romero.
I think people need to tweet at Athletes Unlimited and figure out if that would be the case, what a cool little nickname would be.
Shannon Rhodes off the thumbs. That's foul. Shannon Rhodes, last year's Rookie of the Year. She had 8 homers in 15 games. Hotter than a pepper sprout for the full 5 weeks. This year, 1 homer through the first 3 weeks. Wait for her to explode. Denham continues to just stay inner against Rhodes. Runner on at first will be off. 3 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Right to third. Flippin'. Confident toss across the diamond. Side is retired. So a 2-out base hit by Sydney Romero goes by the wayside. We'll have a rollover inning when we come back for the 3rd.